All right, so it's been brought to my attention. I haven't told a story in a while, so I'm going to tell you guys a story, all right? This is the craziest story that I have, and probably the most gangster moment of my life. Probably the biggest test of my bravery and just brass gutsies that I've ever had to display. Now, I've told lots of stories on this channel about me, you know, going fisticuffs with people who deserved it, you know, grabbing somebody's shit when they deserved it. This is way cooler than that, okay? I'm gonna tell you that right now, way cooler. And this is the other crazy thing about the story. I know the exact dates of, this is a multiple date story, and I know the exact dates for multiple reasons. The first one is the night that I brought my first daughter home from the hospital, okay? So that would be July 30th, 2012, okay? So July 30th, 2012. We bring home my daughter. Now, anybody who has never had a baby, let me tell you what it's like when you first bring your first baby home, okay? You have lived your whole life doing whatever you want, right? Like literally you do whatever you want. You never answer to anybody. Oh, I want to go to the gym. Cool, I'll go to the gym. Oh, I want to go pick up food. I'll go pick up food. Oh, I want to go, play video games. I'll play video games. I do whatever. You can literally do whatever you want. And then all of a sudden you come home and you look and you're like, oh, there's a little human being that I'm responsible for. What on earth am I supposed to do with this little human? This is my responsibility? Just yesterday I was a dumb fuck and all of a sudden now I know how to take care of kids? Probably not. So it's the biggest mind fuck of your entire life. Like I was literally just looking at her like, okay, I have absolutely no idea what to do with this kid. Okay, so I'm already all just wigged out. At the time, I had a pit bull named Manson who has since passed away. Part of this, anyway, we'll get into that. My wife's mom was staying with us at the time, right? So it's nighttime, right? I'm in the twilight zone. I'm trying to figure out what my life is going to be now that, you know, I'm a father, probably a little bit before I was ready for that. And I hear, Jesse! And it's my wife's mom screaming from outside. Okay, so I have to go up the stairs to get to our backyard. So I come running upstairs, get to the backyard, and she's like, he ran away. So Manson loved to chase animals in the backyard. Okay, so we had this huge backyard, right? And he had clearly seen something and he had ripped up the hill. Now it's nighttime, okay? It's pitch black up there. But the sound that my dog is making is not the sound of a dog, okay? He sounds like a human being. He's screaming, okay? He is screaming. Not I'm excited. It sounded like a bear had him in his jaws or a mountain lion or like or Tyrannosaurus Rex, okay? He's literally screaming like a human being. So, as a... Don't ever try to disrupt my motherfucking story microphone. I will break you. Don't think because I have a green screen now that I've been civilized. I haven't. Anyway, so I go sprinting up the hill, right? My baby's in trouble, right? Like at this point, my dog is more my baby than the baby that's downstairs, right? So I go sprinting up the hill. He's screaming louder and louder, right? Like he's getting killed, right? Like I can hear something's killing him. So as I get to the top of the hill, I literally take inventory. I look down at the house because there's lights, around the house. It is pitch black up here. I can't see anything. I can hear my dog screaming. I can see nothing, literally nothing. The camera right now, if I reach out real hard and went like this, I could touch the camera. I couldn't see that far in front of my face, all right? So I have this moment where I'm like, do I go back into the house or I run down and go grab a gun? Or do I just go towards this tiger that's killing my dog or whatever Manson's a tough dog, okay? He's a pit bull, 75 pounds. He's a tough dog. Whatever has him is dangerous for sure. And I literally, this is my train of thought in that millisecond I was like, if I go back inside, he's dead. When I get back up here, what's the gun for? So I just ran, kind of like running as you would run in pitch dark, getting over there. So as I get close and it's just like, you can just hear, it's like just utter chaos, right? I get up close enough to where I can see. I'm so scared. Like I was so scared. I have no idea. By the way, I'm barefoot. Okay. I have socks on. That's it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm getting into. Terrified, pitch black. When I get close enough and I can see them, there was something literally wrapped around his face, like literally like wrapped around his face, like the movie Alien, when they jump out and they wrap and they suck on a person's face and then they impregnate them with an alien that comes out of their chest later. Okay, it looked just like that. And as I got close enough, I realized it was a raccoon, and this raccoon was just annihilating him, dude, just shredding his face. So Okay, I'm gonna characterize what I did as kicking him. So I reach out and I basically tap this thing, like, kicked it, but I basically tapped it. Now, I must have scared the shit out of this thing because it was so focused on Manson, it had no idea there was anything else there. So when I hit this raccoon, it shot up a tree like, dude, I had no idea animals can move that fast, okay? It literally shot up a tree faster than an animal should be able to move. It was unbelievable. If someone would have been like, actually, Jesse, that was an actual alien. That was not a raccoon. It was actually an alien. I'm not sure if I would have, been unconvinced of that theory. So I grab Manson, I come running down his face. He's just pouring blood out of his face, right? So I end up taking him to the vet. He's okay, He's fine. But keep that story in mind for context, all right? So now, fast forward to part 2 of this story, okay? So this story happened the day that the 49ers played the Jacksonville Jaguars in London, all right? So it was sometime in 2013, so about a year and a half later, okay? I believe it was October 2013, so it would have been, call it 15 months later. So it's the afternoon. I'm in my backyard, I'm barbecuing, and I hear this gigantic commotion, literally, basically exactly where it had happened the first time, like where they ended up being, except now it's completely light out. I look up, and when I look up on my hill, Manson is nose to nose with a gigantic buck, dude, like 6-point buck. Like, this thing was massive, and the buck had held its ground. Now, I learned later on, that bucks in October are in the rut, which means they're mating season, which means normally deer used to just run from Manson. He would chase them all the time. They would just run away, okay? Well, he chased the wrong one at the wrong time of year because this one was squared up, and this deer, listen, like, reading animals, not very hard, okay? This deer was looking at Manson. He was like, oh, you wanted to chase me? Well, now we're going to fight to the death, okay? So when I saw it, I felt my blood go dry because this thing was so much bigger than him, like so much bigger. And I went, Manson! I literally screamed at the absolute top of my lungs, thinking maybe I could snap him out of it and get him to turn and run. Okay. Any of you guys have a pit bull? He could be face to face with a fucking polar bear. Okay, he's not gonna run away. And right as I did that, the deer got up on its hind legs and took its hooves and went smash and smashed him in the head. I can't explain to you how fast. So I smashed him in the head. Then he went down with his horns. And he literally lifted him and threw him. The ease with which he threw Manson, I was like, okay, so there was just no question. Like, the end of this fight is Manson dead for sure, absolutely for sure. And I don't know if you've ever seen something attack your dog. Like, if you have a dog, attack your dog in a way like try to imagine what it would be like to see your dog get hit by a car going 50 miles an hour. Okay, like someone, the thing that you love that much, get ragdolled like that. Okay, like, it was like my brain went into a different mode, right? Like, so he chucks Manson. Now, I don't know how I would have reacted, had the first incident not happened, but the millisecond that happened, I defaulted back to being on that hill when it was pitch black and being like, should I go grab a gun? And I was instantly on my way inside. Like, I saw him run, and I'm sprinting inside. So I'm going up the stairs as my wife is coming down the stairs. Now, thank God, well, not that it would have necessarily mattered, but Giselle, my daughter, was asleep at the time. Okay, it's nap time or whatever. So Gabrielle had heard me screaming, and she's running out the door as I'm running in. And so I go up. We had a 3-story house. The backyard is in the middle. So I go up the stairs. I go up to my room. Underneath my bed, I've got a fully loaded 12 gauge with 8 pellet buckshot rounds in it. All right. So I grab it, safety off, and I go running back downstairs. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a chambered buckshot round in a shotgun with full intention on shooting whatever you're running towards in a live situation, but my brain was double tracking like, holy, what the fuck am I doing? And at the same time, my body was just going. Like, there was no, it's not like I was like, geez, what should I do? And I wasn't frozen. I was moving. That's, I've been pretty much battle tested, okay? Like, the fight or flight, I fight, right? So I am running out to the backyard, and I get out to the backyard, barbecue area, nothing. I can hear, but my wife's not there, dog not there, deer not there. Now my hill goes like this, and it goes back around the house, around over here, and I'm here. And right then I heard Gabrielle scream, and I heard Manson scream like a human again, just like he did the other night. or, you know, whatever, 15 months ago. So I come running around the side of my house, and when I come around the side, Gabrielle is throwing a paint can at this deer, and the deer has my dog pinned against a tree with his antlers impaled in his stomach, okay? So, like, you know, like in dog fights when, like, a dog gets the bite on the other dog's neck and it just holds it there and grinds it till the other dog dies? It's like a kill shot. Okay, that's what this deer had on my dog, okay? He had his antlers impaled on my dog. My dog was pinned against this tree, and he knew he had my dog killed. There was nothing that he was just gonna continue to fight and grind it in until my dog died, okay? So as I came around the corner, I yelled, "Gabrielle, get the fuck out of the way!" And Gabby turned around and she saw me running towards her, you know, with a shotgun like this, and her eyes got this big, and she just got out of the way, and I just walked right by her and just, and I just immediately just lit this fucking deer up. I shot him from probably 6 feet away. I shot him like in the back torso because I realized I had no idea what the spread of this round was going to be. I'd shot a million, you know, game rounds. I'd shot slugs a million times. I had no idea what a pellet, you know, an 8 pellet buckshot round does. Like, I didn't know how big the spread was going to be. So I didn't want to aim near its head, and like even shooting at its heart it was too close to the dog. So I shot him kind of in the back torso. And I obviously knew I shoot all the time. Like, I knew I hit him for 1,000,000% sure. So as soon as I shot him and it fell, I went over and was going to grab Manson, and Gabrielle freaked out. Like, she's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because I asked her afterwards, and I was like, "What were you so worried about?" She's like, "Well, I didn't know if you hit him." I'm like, "Are you serious? I shot him from 6 feet away." She's like, "I know, but like, I don't know. I thought he would like explode if you hit him." So I went and grabbed Manson. The deer was down and he was in shock. And I kind of grabbed Manson and picked him up. Manson, as soon as I got him loose, he tried to like attack the dog, but he wasn't. Attack the deer. He wasn't like really trying to attack him. You could just tell he was in total shock. Like, my dog was in complete outer space. Like he went like he was going to attack the deer, but then like anyway. So I picked him up. He was super fucked up. He had wounds all over him. I'll attach pictures to this video actually, and we took him inside. I took the gun inside and I unloaded it, and then because I knew I was gonna have to explain shooting this thing. So anyway, so my next door neighbor is police. I went running next door to the police. I told him, I told Tim, our neighbor, I was like, "Listen, this is what happened." He was like, "Holy shit!" He had heard it, obviously. So he came out when he saw it was a deer. He was just like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "This is fucking crazy." He thought it was the coolest thing ever. So he calls the cops. He tells them I'm cool. They bring in the sheriff. Animal control comes. They actually this deer didn't die. It actually dragged itself down into this ditch, and they like came and they fucking had this little weird 22 and they shot it in the head and took it away. So anyway, so my dog got, you know, we took pictures of it, whatever, took him to the animal hospital, and he got like 58 stitches and he survived. His hair grew back white. Okay, that's how fucked up he was. He had, you know, he shave his body basically to be able to do surgery. He was a brown-haired pit bull. It grew back white. That's how fucked up. Like, this incident took so much out of him, dude. You have no idea. He was never the same. Like, he was probably 8 or 9 years old at the time, and he lived to be 14, but he never was the same after this. So anyway, you would think that's the end of the story, right? Because obviously that's the craziest shit ever. Okay, so that is the holy shit Jesse's Rambo, you know, situation. And Gabrielle, like, when we were sitting there, like, you know, my adrenaline was rolling for probably 6 hours after that. And I kept, you know, Gabby and I kept talking about it, and she was like, dude, she's like, "You moved so fast. I couldn't believe how fast you moved." I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, like, you just really, like, I couldn't believe how fast you moved in there and shot it. Like, I was like, is he really going to shoot it? And you just did it." Like, it was like, whoa. I was like, "Yeah, I know. What? So what happened? Like, what did it look like? You know, like, what did I do exactly? Like, what did I do?" Anyway, so you would think the story's over, right? Okay, so here's the thing, though. So there are deer in our backyard fucking all the time. The cops did tell me that technically they could have charged me for this. So I was like, and he also said they had never had anything like this happen ever in Walnut Creek, okay? As long as he had been, you know, police, and he'd been there for 22 years. So I'm like, all right, so this is a one-time deal. There's no way I'm going to be able to shoot another deer without getting arrested or whatever, getting charged. So I need a non-lethal deterrent for these deer, just in case, right? Sounded like a good excuse for me to get one of those really high-end fucking air rifles, right? I got one of these crack barrel 22 caliber Benjamin nitro piston air rifles. Okay, these things shoot 22 caliber pellets about 850 feet per second. For context, a 45 caliber like bullet goes a little bit faster than that. So it's the real deal. However, it's this tiny little pellet, right? Like, so it should shoe anything. I mean, obviously kill the fuck out of a bird, kill the fuck out of a squirrel. but something big like a deer should be a good deterrent. Get it the fuck out of there, right? So I had not even scoped this thing in, okay? So this is probably, call it 6 months. I don't even know if it was even that long. Call it 5 months later, okay? I had not even sighted in the scope, okay? So I had a scope on it, but hadn't even sighted it in. So like looking down the scope would have done nothing for me, right? So there's this huge deer in the backyard, okay? Gabrielle and my kid are down in Palm Desert, and they're coming back that day. I'm by myself, right? So I'm bored, I'm dicking around, I see this fucking huge deer, the biggest deer I had seen since the incident. So I'm like, fuck, man, let's see what this thing's got. So I go in the backyard, and I hold this thing literally like this, like I shouldered it, like, you know, or fucking like this, like I didn't even fucking aim. I just put it like this. I aimed it at the deer. This deer was eating some berries, and I went boom, and it went hit the deer, and like these birds flew off, and it clearly hit the deer, and the deer just kind of sat there. And I was like, God damn. I mean, I had shot the thing before, so I knew, like the gun I'd shot before, so I knew it had heat, like it had major heat. But I was like, I mean, I hadn't shot a deer with it, right? So I was like, damn, that deer's fucking tough, man. That deer is fucking tough. Like, didn't even phase it. It's just gonna stay there. So about 20 seconds later, the deer goes like this and just goes like this, and its leg goes and folded out from under it. And I was like, so I meant to just test this thing out, and I had apparently wounded this fucking deer to the level where his entire leg gave out. And I was like, and I'm not stupid. I know a wounded fucking deer, like, it's dead, right? There's nothing, like, we're not going to nurse it back to health. If I call the animal control or whoever, they're not going to, like, take it to the zoo, right? It's dead. I just killed it by accident, right? Because I injured its leg with my fucking air pistol. So I was panicking, right? So I don't know what to do. So I call animal control, and I tell them, I'm like, listen, this is a complete accident. It's my fault. It was an air rifle, I tell them, right? Same people that I called, we had to call last time. I mean, we called the cops. We also had to call animal control, right? So I walk out there 90 seconds later just to go see what's up. I put a 9mm in my pocket just because I have seen what a deer can do if they want to get fucking feisty. I get out there, it's dead. It's fucking dead, okay? I didn't hit it in the leg. Okay, long story short, they ended up sending fishing game to my house afterwards because it was the second incident. These guys came up looking like they were fucking the agents in the Matrix. And by the way, right as they got there, Gabrielle called me. They're like, we're here at the Oakland airport. I'd forgotten to pick them up. I'm like, oh, funny story. So I ended up having to, they had to take a cab or whatever because I was stuck there with animal control because I had smoked another deer with a fucking air rifle and killed it. The first one didn't die from a fucking buckshot round. This one didn't even aim, had it like this. When they flipped it over, I had hit it right behind the ear. The most fluke shot ever. I didn't even fucking aim. I literally just aimed like, okay, here's this gigantic deer. I'll just kind of, I'll shoot it like this. And I hit it in the fucking brainstem. So that is my fucking story about me and deer in my backyard in Walnut Creek. So, the first one was me, Rambo. The second one was, oh my God, the most unlucky or lucky shot ever, depending on how you look at it. But the other point is a Benjamin 22 caliber nitro piston air rifle. If you think that is a toy, I would challenge you on that because I have killed a fucking 250-pound deer with it. Straight up, period, point blank, period. That is 100% true. So look that fucking piece up and, go hunting with it. Because if you hit the fucking deer in the brainstem, they're going to go night-night permanently. So anyway, that's the story. If you like the channel, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. Let's go.